This edition of Football Friday is presented by the West Virginia Lottery. When you play, West Virginia wins.
Here in Norman, along with the coach Dwight Wallace and the signal caller, Jed Drenning, I'm Tony Caridi. All right, one thing hit us initially when we got off the plane here in Norman. It is downright hot. How hot? 93 degrees is the scheduled game time temperature. But don't worry about that. The last time West Virginia played here 31 years ago, Jeff Hosteller, the quarterback, told us, who made the trip, by the way, it was 113 on the field. We'll find out exactly how that weather affects the Mountaineers. Now, one thing that's going to affect West Virginia in this football game is the play of Oklahoma's defense. Coach Wallace, this is an entirely new-looking defense from what we saw in Morgantown last season.
It's going to be interesting, Tony. We're going to have to be on the move, I think, in the box and on the sideline because this defense, it appears that they're really trying to cover all their bases. They struggled last year with containment. We got loose on them. We were able to get outside. They talk about leveraging their defense. They talk about gap control. They talk about increasing the pressure on the quarterback. They want to confuse quarterbacks. They want to make decisions hard. And they think they can do it because they have lockdown cover corners. So I think we're going to be challenged athletically. I think our receivers are going to have to run excellent routes. They're not going to be wide open, so the quarterbacks are going to have to throw into smaller windows. And we're going to have to establish a run against a defense that was really stout against the run in their opener.
Yeah, with that all being said, Jed, we'll turn it over to you. Paul Millard makes his first career start on the road. What kind of challenge does that bring differently from what he faced a week ago in Morgantown?
Well, it goes beyond Paul, Tony. What you have to do is stay in manageable, down and distance situations against an aggressive defense like this. Just like Coach said, they will challenge us. They will get up in our grill. What we can ill afford to do is be facing a lot of 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 12s. You have to stay out of those situations. And what that means from a game planning standpoint, utilize what appears to be our strength with some of that depth at running back. But on the edge and on the perimeter, somebody is going to have to emerge and make some plays, both in the pass game and in the run game. And what I mean by that is we're going to have to see some quality blocking. We saw some of that last week out of those wideouts from guys like McCartney. We're going to see a lot more of it today against these aggressive defensive backs to maybe get a cheap one or two so you don't have to stay out there for 10, 12, 14 snaps a time and drive the length of the field because that's very challenging against a defense like this.
No question about that. And it goes without saying, guys, that turnovers are going to be absolutely monumental in this football game. West Virginia must find a way to win the turnover battle. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock here in Norman. Pregame coverage on the Mountaineer Sports Network begins at 3:30. Along with Coach Dwight Wallace, I'm Tony Caridi here in Norman on WVUSports.com.
This edition of Football Friday is presented by the West Virginia Lottery. When you play, West Virginia wins.